Surprisingly enough, the Google Ad Grant is like a buffet, and thinking about it in this way makes it a lot easier to understand. To begin, let's look at the characteristics of a buffet. The first and most important factor is that there's always more than enough food. Every night, buffets end and there's food left on the shelves, and that is okay. It's better than not having enough in the first place. It's just part of how it works. Quantity and variety matter. The more different types of cuisine you can offer, the more likely you are to attract a large and diverse group of patrons. And quality matters as well. If people can tell that your food was prepared from scratch by expert chefs, they'll have a much better experience. People also care about freshness. Do you have locally harvested, organic fruits and vegetables, for example? Your buffet can only advertise the foods that you actually have. If you specialize in pizza and burgers, for example, you can't market that you have sushi because when people come, they'll be disappointed when there's no sushi to be found. Similarly, you can't force interest. If you're really excited about your carrot and tomato special, but everyone wants to just come and eat pizza, you're much better served offering different types of pizza than you are trying to get people to eat the carrots. You just can't force them to eat it if they don't want to. Traffic ebbs and flows to buffets, and this is normal based on a variety of factors from seasonality to how people are feeling to a dozen other reasons. And finally, spend is not success. If you own many buffets across a variety of states, you will naturally spend more on business expenses than a single location will, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that chain is more successful. To do that, you have to look at profit, you have to look at the difference you're making in people's lives, and you have to look at some of the other stats. Now let's look at the Google Ad Grant, and you'll find that it's very similar to the buffet example we just talked about. The first thing to notice is that, as with a buffet, the Google Ad Grant gives you more than enough budget. For 99% of nonprofits using the Google Ad Grant, you can effectively think of your budget as unlimited because you're not going to be able to spend all of it. The average nonprofit only spends a few $100s a month of the Google Ad Grant, and that doesn't tell you alone whether or not they're being successful. Quantity and variety count in the Google Ad Grant, as in buffets, but now we're talking about the content on your website, not the food on your tables. The more different types of content and the more interesting articles and information you can provide, the more likely you are to attract a large and diverse audience. And people care about quality as well. Do you have interactive content? Do you have videos? Do you have engaging pieces of information that people can really start to learn something from and benefit from? People also care about freshness. How many times have you gone to a website where the blog hasn't been updated in a year and you wonder if that organization still even is functioning? People care about freshness, and it's important in advertising as well. As with our buffet example, you can only advertise what you have. So if you want to run an ad on clean water impact by the numbers, for example, you can only do that if you have content on your website that actually shows what is the impact of providing clean water and what are the metrics associated with that. If you don't have this content on your website, a whole universe of different search queries like clean water by the numbers, clean water stats, clean water metrics, clean water impact become essentially inaccessible to you because Google will know that you don't have the content to back it up, so it won't show your ads. Additionally, you can't force interest. If you really, really want people to donate their vacation homes to support clean water, even if you have the content for that on your website, no matter how many ads we create for you, the ads are unlikely to ever show because no one is Googling for that specific thing. Instead, you have to tie people in with content that engages the questions they're already asking and that they're already searching for. And then at that point, once you begin to engage with them, you can share the other ways that they can get involved. You have to meet people where they're at. You can't force them to meet you all the way down the process. Traffic ebbs and flows in the Google Ad Grant as in a buffet, and this is normal and natural. Seasonality, day of the week, time of year, 1,000 other factors all cause traffic to jump and fall on a sort of normal basis, and this is just part of the process. And finally, and most importantly, spend does not equal success. The Google Ad Grants team has spent the vast number of years reorienting everything to do with the Google Ads algorithm to discourage meaningless spend, but instead encourage meaningful conversions. This is the results that we're actually looking for. Are people coming to your website? Are they learning about your brand? Are they remembering you? Are they engaging with the calls to action that you have to sign up, to submit contact forms, to donate, to volunteer? All of these actions are so much more important than just how many dollars of spend took place. Thanks so much. I hope this is helpful, and enjoy your Google Ad Grant and buffet.